Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7 and today we are checking out the Kansept Osprey. And that's with the ultimate goal of seeing if it's worth adding to your collection or your daily carry. Now this did come from the Lefty Pass Around group for review, and this was designed and OEM'd by Kansept. And this is a goofy guy. Yeah, this was an interesting experience to say the least. There's some things that definitely surprised me about it, so let's jump into it. We have smooth titanium blue anodized scales, front and back. We have a deep carry milled titanium pocket clip. We have blue anodized pivot collars. We have blue anodized body screws. No hardware on the pocket clip, which is a nice touch. And then we've got black and black for the actual pivots themselves. We are rocking T8s for the pivots, and then we have T6s for everything else. We don't have a backspacer, we just have these standoffs, and then we have this little spot right down here for our lanyard levers. Now, as far as the ergos go, this is a 3-finger knife. I cannot really, so I can get a pinky on it, but it's one of those like, put my pinky back here and then, use that to kind of brace the knife for whatever I'm doing. So I'm going to say it's a 3-finger knife, even though you can incorporate your pinky to an extent. It just won't be on the handle, right? And I don't want to get too close to this edge because that point will absolutely jack me up. Now, with the 3-finger grip in hand, the pocket clip is definitely a hot spot. If you bear down on this, you're going to feel it. You're going to know there's a pocket clip there. And after not too long, it's going to be kind of a pain to deal with. Now, if you're not bearing down on it, if you're just kind of holding it, it's a small knife, you probably won't bear down on it. But if you're just kind of holding it, no hot spots. Now, it is light and agile. Given the size, it really doesn't have a choice but to be light and agile. And as far as the balance goes, it looks like we are pretty well balanced. We're slightly butt heavy, but since it's balanced at right about that point that our finger is, that's just going to aid to helping it feel lighter and more maneuverable. So, overall, I would say you feel like you're in total control when you have this knife. That's one of my favorite things about it. We have 0 jimping. This jimping is not like you can't even touch it. And then we have no jimping going up the blade. As far as the blade itself goes, we're rocking a hawk bill with this semi-reflective stonewash finish, which looks really nice, especially in contrast to the blue. We do have a flat grind. We are much more robust in the upper half of the blade. You can kind of see where that line is. And then from here down, it's a pretty swift thinning. So this is going to be great for honestly, my favorite thing to do with it was cutting boxes. It flew through them pretty easy. But then you can also do a lot of precision cutting with this tip. It's very easy to get the tip down for any draw cuts you need to do, or even opening letters, just kind of putting that tip in the envelope and just slicing across, super easy. So as far as general EDC, this thing was pretty good. It's a little smaller than I like, but it was pretty good. We are rocking CPM S35VN, which is going to be good toughness, okay edge retention, but really, really corrosion resistant. And then as far as the detent goes, there we go. We have this nice flicking hole that works fantastic. We have this top flipper, which gives us good leverage, but you really have to snap it out because as you saw, whenever I started putting pressure on it, it kind of popped out on its own. So you really have to dang it. There we go. You really have to snap it out. I personally would stick to the flicking hole because it works great. It's nice and easy. Not drop shutty, considering how light the blade is. Now, keep in mind this hasn't been lubed, and it would definitely benefit from that. It'd probably make it a little more drop shutty. Skiffs and lube would definitely make it more drop shutty. I don't think it would be guillotine. I think at best it'll still be a shake shut, just not the aggressive shaking that I'm having to do right now. The acoustics are just fine. Nothing to write home about. You know, the acoustics on the way down, considering you'll probably manually close it like this, are pretty good. You can listen. Ugh. There we go. So yeah, the acoustics aren't bad. Nothing, you know, nothing to go crazy for. So the lock bar access, they've cut it out to where we have easy access to the lock bar, but the lock bar is really stiff. Like if this was my knife, I would want to tune the lock bar. That might help with the drop shutty action that we would hope to get, but you know, they give you plenty of room to get in there, but it just takes so much effort. Yeah, it's honestly one of the stiffest lock bars I think I've ever felt. It is not lefty friendly because the clip is not reversible, but also it's super lock bar sensitive, so you have no choice but to get down onto the pocket clip. Luckily, since it's so small, it's not super hard to get onto the pocket clip. So I mean, like if you're a lefty and you really want to make it work, you can, but yeah, it's considering how little room you have. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to stop doing that now. I would say not really lefty friendly. Man, and I'm just sucking at this top flipper. Normally, I mean, I love top flippers. Normally, I don't struggle bust this much, but there we go. Now, as far as the size goes, this is an overall length of 5.625 inches, a blade length of 2.375 inches, and then we have a blade to handle ratio of 0.73 or 73% with a weight of 2.4 ounces. Size comparisons up against the brazen. The brazen is going to be about like 3 inches or so longer, maybe 3.5 inches longer. We'll do the real steel Sylph. Yeah, even the Sylph, which is not a big knife, dwarfs it by about 2 inches. And then we'll do the Civivi Altus. Which is going to dwarf it by about 2.5 inches. So this is a really small, definitely fifth pocket carry. Definitely unless you like strictly fifth pockets, it's more of a backup knife, I would say. It was a joy to use for box cutting, opening packages, like whenever you cut the tape, getting this point in there and just a gentle pull, and this thing would shred through opening boxes, getting through the tape and all that good stuff. So I mean, it was fun to use, but this would definitely be like a secondary knife. I wouldn't want to make this my daily driver. Plus the fidget factor just really isn't there. Now, if this was more fidgety and drop shutty, there's a chance I would make this like, I would carry this for a day and be okay. But the size and lack of fidget factor really hold this knife back for me. As far as the cost goes, this is coming in at $137. That's without any discounts or anything like that. So if you go to White Mountain Knives, you use code S7, you get 10% off, which would bring this knife down to like 124, 123 and some change. Now, I will say I think the price is fair because you are getting titanium and S35 VN. You're also getting a very utilitarian blade shape, albeit really specific. A hawkbill. It's still super utilitarian. All right, it's going to do the stuff you need it to. So I think the price is worth it. However, given the fact that there's virtually no fidget factor to it, at least not without tuning it, how tight the lock bar is, if it's not tuned. I like, this is not a knife I'm recommending that everybody run out and get. Uh, it's a fine functional knife, but it definitely has some drawbacks that for me, even though the price is good, it wasn't a lot of fun. And whenever like I grabbed this knife to carry it because I was reviewing it, but there was always like one other knife that I wanted to grab instead. You know, some of those other knives I'm reviewing too, so I'm not going to reveal what they are. But there was always something I'd rather have in my pocket. So it was fun to cut with. It was super utilitarian, but with the size, lack of fidgetability, I mean, if you love the knife, you'll love it, right? Like if the aesthetic speaks to you and you go buy it and you don't mind tuning it yourself, like adjusting the lock bar, maybe skiffing it, lubing up the bearings and stuff like that. If you don't mind doing those things and the aesthetic speaks to you, by all means, go out and get it. You're not going to be disappointed. But if you don't like tuning your own knives, if you like fidgeting, if you want something that's going to be a 4-finger grip at least, then this is probably not for you. So while I can recommend it to people who love the aesthetic and they're okay with the drawbacks that this knife has, and they're okay tuning it themselves, then yeah, by all means. I mean, it'll be a great little knife for you, and it's priced well. But if you're not that specific person, and I think even within Kansept's own lineup, you're going to find things like the Thoth, the Kansept Odd 21. These are going to be knives that are just as interesting, but much more functional and much more fidgety. So I would carry it, but not often. This would not become part of my collection. So there's that. Tell me in the comments, is this something you would collect, or is this something that would make it into your daily carry rotation? If not, why not? And the link for this knife is going to be in the description at White Mountain Knives. Use code S7 to get 10% off. And if you like the video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for all the love and support. And until the next time, peace.